Hello and welcome to episode 91 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and welcome to my knit night. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I'm a very tired lady today. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming back and putting up with me. If you're new, hi, welcome. This is where I come to talk about all the crafty things going on in my life, mainly knitting, but sometimes with a little bit of crochet and other crafts sneaking in there. My name is Laura. I think I said that already. This is really not going well and we're only 40 seconds in. My name is Laura. I am from the most easterly town in England and I live here with my husband, my 5-year-old daughter, my 2-year-old son, my 1-year-old puppy, my very old cat, and a lot of yarn. You can find me on Instagram as the lonely knitter. On Ravelry is the same, but I'm not very active over there. You can find my patterns for sale on my website and on my Ravelry. And as I think I'm Lonely Knitter Designs on Ravelry, like patterns. And my hand-dyed yarn, which I sell under the Lonely Knitter over on my website. All the details will be below. Hi lovelies. Did I say the date? If I didn't, it's Wednesday the 28th of September. I am a zombie. I've been back from Yarndale for 3 days, but I'm still a zombie. I also have no makeup on my face now that I am looking into my phone screen. I'm regretting that just a little bit. I wish there was filters on camera mode on iPhone. There probably is and I don't know about them. Anyway, hello. I'm going to speed through this episode. I really wanted to get back on recording. I enjoy recording. I know that I am much more sane a person when I am chatting to you guys, but I have had a crazy few weeks. September is a crazy month. We're ploughing through, we're getting there. It's nearly the end of the month. I have done the 2 shows that we had this month, which was Unravel Autumn and Yarndale. Those are now over. I don't have another show until the end of October when I will be at Glasgow School of Yarn. So yeah, a little way before another show, but in that time all the advents have to go out. So yeah, it's a little bit mad. I am not gonna lie, I've not got any childcare at the moment for my 2-year-old. So my 5-year-old does go to school. My 2-year-old is at home at the moment full time and will be until he goes to nursery in January. It's been a lot. I can't really work around him, which means that all my work happens at night when I am very tired. So I'm doing my best, but definitely I'm looking forward to January work-wise. So, quick note, if you're waiting on a podcast prize from me, they will be out by the end of this week. Things have just been mad and my list is getting ever longer and I keep not crossing things off the list. So you can look forward to podcast prizes coming out this week, by the end of this week. So I am going to plough through this episode because I really do want to talk to you guys, but at the same time it's nearly 10 o'clock at night and I used to stay up until 2 in the morning working. I don't know what's going on with me at the moment, but I hit a wall around 10:30 and start to fall asleep wherever I am, whatever I'm doing. And it's just meant for work. It's been awful, absolutely awful. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's been like that for about a month and it's awful. But it also means we're heading towards that time and I don't want to suddenly fall asleep on camera. Anyway, so we're going to jump straight into finished objects because finally, for the first time in what feels like forever, I have finished objects, plural. But they are both the same, so you might find them a little disappointing. The first one, oh, this doesn't look good on me right now, does it? The first one is my Musselburgh hat. So this is the Musselburgh, a pattern by Ysolda, and it is a really, really snuggly hat, and I love it to bits. So this is the Musselburgh. I do look very phallic. Now I have hat hair. Not that the hair was great in the first place. I don't know what's going on with the hair at the moment. So this is the Musselburgh. It is made in fingering weight yarn. This is in my sock yarn, and it's in my hand dyed yarn. So this is my sock base, and the yarn colourway is Shiny, which is a Firefly reference. This is from my Firefly collection. Shiny is available for pre-order on my website at the moment. But yeah, this is Shiny, and the way the Musselburgh is made, I won't be able to show you on this one because I have just put a stitch in the two crowns, but basically you cast on a crown, you cast on an increase, and then you make a giant tube, and then at the very end you decrease and cast off, and then you fold it one end into the other and makes this, and then you can give yourself a brim if you would like, or you can go no brim and lots of slouch, which is actually looks a little better on me than the brim option, maybe. I don't know. But it is such a snuggly hat because it is double layer. And I made this one as a sample for my shop, and because I had lots of shows to go to, and I really just wanted a hat sample to go with my stand. And I wanted something that would showcase some of my hand-dyed yarn. So this is great. It really shows off some of the speckles in Shiny. And it was a lovely, easy vanilla knit. The whole just going round and round and round for absolutely ages, because obviously it's double thickness. It was lovely, and I just tuned out while I did it. It was basically the same vibe I get from a sock, except there was more stitches, so I didn't, because I work on magic loop, I didn't have to shift things along as much. So it was lovely to make. I made it. As soon as I finished it, I wanted to cast on another one, which I did. And actually I cast on a different one, which I'll show you in whips. Basically the story is, in fact, I'll pull whips in to finished objects and we'll mush it about. But basically I finished this hat, showed it to my husband, who does not have any interest in hand knit things ever. I made him wool socks when I was in university, and bless him, he wore them every single time that I saw him. When I was back from uni, or he came to see me at uni, always had my hand knit socks on. It wasn't until years later that I found out that he hated them, and he really didn't like anything hand knit, and he didn't want anything hand knit ever again. I was devastated, but also really happy with the fact that he had kept it a secret from me for so long, because he obviously didn't want to hurt my feelings and knew how much it meant. So if he ever wanted something knit, I'd be like, I'm there every day of the week. Well, I got him to try my Musselburgh on, and he agreed that it was really snuggly, and he is a football supporter. He watches Norwich City Football Club, and he is a season ticket holder, and in the winter he is going every single home game to stand out in the cold. I definitely look better with the slouch than the brim, don't I? And he tried it on and he really liked it, and he said it was really warm and really lovely, and he said if you made me one of those I would wear it. And I said, okay, what sort of colour would you like? And he described a colour to me. So I dyed it. He wanted a really tonal grey with some flecks of green, but a dark green. And I think I got there. He seems pretty happy with it so far. So I cast this one on. Well, I cast this one on, and Ellie said, what are you making now, Mummy? And I showed her my hat. And I showed her the start of Chris's hat, and she went to me, you were going to make me a hat and a scarf with this face. And I was like, yeah, I was. The yarn that we bought at your wool show, which she means EAYF, which is East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is the show that I run here in East Anglia. And yeah, this year at East Anglia Yarn Festival, we bought, or she chose, some skeins, one for Alfie and two for herself. And hers were these two. So they are both from Giddy Aunt Yarns, and stupidly, oh actually no, not stupidly, they are in here. I do have, no I don't, I have the pink but not the blue. So Giddy Aunt Yarns, and I tucked the band inside this one. So here we go. The pink is Giddy Aunt Yarns in the colourway Delighted, and so this is my child, right? For her brother, she chose a skein of sock yarn, which is here and will be made into a Musselburgh also, which is Fear of the Dark by Castle Yarns. For herself, she chose one skein of merino silk 4-ply, 50% superwash merino silk and 50% silk. And then she chose herself, I think it was silk and mohair, but I might be wrong on the silk side, but it has mohair in, and it's a singles. So this is the merino silk 50-50, and it is gorgeous in the colourway Delighted. And then I can't for the life of me remember what this is, and the yarn is somewhere in the house, so I need to find out. But I don't know if you can see the fuzzy halo on here. I can just about. But this has mohair in this half, and they are both very soft, both halves. So I decided to grab Ellie's skeins and make her hat first before I made Chris's, and I cast on at this end and did the first half of the hat in the pink, and then switched to the blue and did the second half in the blue. She would like a scarf as well. I will make her a little shawlette, a little skinny thing that she can wear, and she likes blue as her favourite colour. I was shocked when she chose the pink at the show, to be fair, because it's beautiful, it's gorgeous colour, but she's much more of a blue girl. So she has it this way with a pink edge to it. So she's been wearing this today, and I snaffled it to come and show it to you. I literally just finished it today, and she put it straight on after school. So I will put a picture in here of her wearing her hat. She was very happy. So yeah. So that's hers. It doesn't fit on my head. I made hers the adult small, child large, and I made mine the adult medium, and I'm making Chris the same size for his. So these are my two finished objects, both Musselburghs by Ysolda. Very happy with both of them. And then that moves me straight on to whips. Oh, they both lived while they were growing in this bag, which is also stash enhancement, but it's stash enhancement from a little while ago, and I have lots more stash enhancement to show you, so I'll quickly show you it. It is a gorgeous Fibre Fox Halloween bag from, I've already said Fibre Fox, from the Fibre Fox, and it's gorgeous. Every year Chris buys me a Halloween project bag, and I make the Stephen West MCAL, and then I take a picture on our wedding anniversary, because on our wedding day I was making the Stephen West MCAL, and he has a picture of me knitting the MCAL in my wedding dress. Our anniversary is the 27th of October, and every year since then I've taken a picture sitting on our anniversary knitting on the MCAL. So and I always get a new Halloween themed, or it's usually just, I think the last couple have been Halloween themed, but I usually get a Halloween themed project bag as a anniversary present from him, and then that's what I put my project in. Well, I was at Unravel vending a couple of weeks ago, and my lovely friend Georgie had these on her stand, and I messaged Chris and said, this is what you can get me for my anniversary, and I bought it. So I'm very, very happy. So this is what everything has been living in, because it's my current new fave thing. So on to whips. We have the Musselburgh in this colourway. Now this colourway that I dyed specifically for Chris is called This Is Him. So I decided, when he said that he would like a hat, I decided that if I was dyeing him up a colourway, I should dye one up for all of us. So I decided to dye a colour for everyone, and it's called the This Is Us collection. It's just a really small little collection of yarns, and there's This Is Me, which is my one, This Is Him, which is Chris's, This Is Little, which is Ellie's, and This Is Even Littler, which is Alfie's, and then This Is Us, which is a combo of all of them. I'm not going to show you them today. I'm also not going to show you my next shop update, which is coming, which is the Hocus Pocus shop update, only because the yarn's all over the other side of the room. I'm exhausted. This is meant to be a catch-up and trying to throw myself back into the swing of podcasting, because honestly, I've just fallen out of the groove. So I'm not going to stress too much about shop updates. My next shop update is this Friday. It is Hocus Pocus, especially because this Friday the new Hocus Pocus movie comes out. I'm incredibly excited. So that's sort of to line up with that. So I do have stuff coming. Please do check out my Instagram and Facebook if you would like to see. But I'm not going to chat about it so much today. I might talk about it at the end, what I've got coming up, but I'm not going to show yarn today. So yeah, this is Chris's Musselburgh. It is not very far along. I need to make a giant sausage, and then he can have his hat. And the only other thing that I've worked on, other than the 3 Musselburghs, is living in my Namaste train case. And it's a sample for shows. Now I sell this kit at shows, or I have done this year, this autumn, or it's not a kit, it's a yarn pack, because it doesn't come with the pattern, but I have been selling the yarn for this shawl. This is my brain's gone, it's either Ziggity or Zaggity. What is going in my head? I hear the Room on the Broom, the kids book. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom, every time I get this shawl out, and it's not even called any of those things. It's called the Zippity shawl. What's wrong with me? The Zippity shawl by Amber O'Brien, honestly. And it doesn't have that much further to go, so my mission is going to be, before I podcast again, to have finished this shawl. So it needs a good block. It'll stretch out nicely when I block it, but yeah, it's got, I think, 6 stripes, so we've got 6 big stripes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to start on, or I have started on, big stripe number 5. So that's this pinkish colour is what I'm now starting here, and then there'll be this section and then another orangey one, and then it will be done. So then I can get all those ends woven in. Look at all those ends. And yeah, I'll be able to have it on my stall as a sample, rather than a whip hanging out of the project bag trying to sort of dangle it around and make it look pretty. It will actually be there. I love this case, it's so nice. It has these magnets on the back that you can move around, and then you can clip this notions pouch to it, and then my pattern and my yarn are all in the box. But I love this case, and it even has a little thing here so you can shut the lid and still have your yarn threaded through. A little guide, so it's like a big fancy yarn bowl. But yeah, the Zippity shawl by Amber O'Brien, not Iggity, Ziggity, Zaggity or Zoom, as it happens. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I think because of all of the colour changes and stripy effect, it's really ploughing on quickly, and that's what's making it happen. The little stripy colour changes, the striping is it's just I haven't been working on it, and the reason I have, oh, look at that. Look at that. Something has happened there. That's gonna bother me. I'll have to fix that later. So yeah, it's, oh, I can see it glaring out at me. Can you see it there? It's really nice. I really like it. It's a lovely pattern. It's really well written. It's nice and easy to follow. I just haven't had enough knitting time, so I need to plough on with this. So the aim for next podcast is to be able to show you a completed Zippity shawl. So that is all my whips and all of my finished objects. Plough on straight through to stash enhancement. Now, this isn't all the stash enhancement that I've had, because I have been to one of my local yarn shops, and I had more things from Unravel, but not many. But I've just come back from Yarndale, and I'm not going to show everything because, oh my gosh, it makes me look like a greedy guts if I talk about things from the past month, as well as the haul from Yarndale. So I'm just going to do the Yarndale haul. I probably won't have had anything else come in the post or anything when it gets around to the next podcast, if I manage to get one out next week or the week after. So I can show those things that I have been gathering up over the last month or so on that one, and I'll just show the Yarndale haul today. So this is in no particular order, it's just going to be as and when I come to things. So I went to Yarndale at the weekend. I vended as the Lonely Knitter. I had a great time. I was in a row of my friends. It was I think one of my friends had asked if some of us could be together because obviously vending on our own, it's nice to be near people that we know and trust who can watch our stalls while we nip to the toilet or anything like that. So it was in a line. There was my lovely friend, well, they're all my lovely friends, but Robin, who's the Crafty Bird. Then there's Georgie, who's the Fibre Fox, and her lovely fiance Ben. Then Jess, Skein in the Stitch. Then me, then Jess, Pigment and Ply. So we were in a lovely little line and it was a real laugh and a great time. And we all, I think, got a berry from Hannah of the Corner of Craft. So the Hannah is an absolutely lovely human being, and she also makes the most amazing beaded stitch markers. And I think this is the disco berry. I might be wrong, but I think it is. And yeah, she had ones that looked like blackberries and all different colours, and they were super, super, super cute. But I absolutely loved this one. And every time as I'm knitting, every time I come round to it, it makes me smile. But it's just so beautiful and it's so glitzy. And yeah, it's just beautiful. So I got this one from Hannah, and I had planned 100% to go and get a berry. But while I was over there, she also had Halloween themed ones, and I am a Halloween lover, so I don't know if you can see that very well. Also, check out my nails. My sister-in-law does my nails and practices her nail art on me, and I love them. I love them. But yeah, this is a little, come here you, a little hand beaded ghost with a little tiny pumpkin, and it's so cute. And I was swayed for a moment because I was like, you can only get two. You can only get two. I'd got my berry in my sights, and then I was looking at this, and then next to the ghost was a little witch. I was like, I love it so much. I was like, no, I can only get two. I really could only get two. And it was a choice between not having the berry or having the witch, because I was never not going without the ghost. And I thought, no, you came for the berry, get the berry. Now with the berry and the ghost, I am an incredibly happy knitter. I am loving life. I'm very, very happy with my choice. A little tiny little bit of me that's like, I left the witch behind. But honestly, if I could only get two, the berry and the ghost were my favourite. So those are from Hannah of the Corner of Craft. She's also Chromatic Yarns, which is her yarn label. But yeah, the berry and the ghost, super, super cute. What else did I get? Next thing in the box. Oh, I was able to grab a pre-order. So my lovely friend Jess of the Skein and the Stitch had done a Buffy pre-order. She'd done an amazing Buffy collection and put all the yarns up for pre-order, and candles. And the candles are black wax and they are gorgeous. And I hadn't brought it out with me because I'm an idiot, but I have got the box because it's out of the box and the yarn. So we were next to each other at Yarndale, and Jess gave me my pre-order when we got there, and I was very chuffed. So I got this, which is the Slayer on her classic sock. And oh my gosh, Jess's classic sock is the most squishy sock yarn ever. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, but you only get 400 meters to 100 grams compared to my sock yarn, which is 425. But you can honestly, I would say losing that 25 meters per skein is well and truly worth it, because the bounce on this and the squishiness on this is unreal. I can't reach a skein of my sock yarn, but I almost want to hold it against it to show how much like chunkier and squidgier this is. You know, each to their own. I'm very happy with mine, but this is just a lovely contrast, and I'm really going to enjoy using this when it comes up to the top of the stash and I get to use it. But this is this layer from the Buffy collection, and it's gorgeous. And then the Bewitched candle came in this box, fancy sticker, and it's a hand poured soy wax candle, and it had notes of dark rose, oud and vetiver. I don't know what that is, but it smelt amazing. So thank you very much, Jess, and I'm so chuffed that I got to pick up my pre-order at the show. But yeah, it's gorgeous, and highly recommend Jess's yarn. So that's going straight in my little cubby. The next thing I can come to in my bag is pom-poms. Yes, I know, As you can probably see, though many of them have fallen to the back because I have been digging on the stash shelves recently. But I do have quite a few pom-poms back. Oh, by the way, here. All of my pom-poms are from Robin at the Crafty Bird. Every time I go to a show, I have to have a pom-pom. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like a collection. It's like a hoarding thing. I don't know what's going on. I've not used a single one of them yet, but I love them so much and they're so beautiful. And every time I go, I'm like, I haven't got that one. I haven't got that one. I will use them at some point. I'm thinking that one of my new ones, this pink one, will go on this hat because how perfect is that with that pink? I will put it on with a little toggle though, so that I can easily remove it, because this hat being done this way is completely reversible. It's the reason I did it this way, so that she can choose on any day if she would rather have a pink hat with a blue brim or turn it around for a blue hat with a pink brim. So yeah, I'm thinking that, to be honest, even though I went the other way, it still looks absolutely perfect on there, or it looks gorgeous on there. So that one I think will go straight onto Ellie's when I get round to it. So yep. And then this one. So let me just get that one out again. Oh, they're so gorgeous. So these are two quite small ones, I think, in comparison to some of my others. Yeah. I have got some this size. Oh, for example, this actually would go really nicely on either side of that. And I think I did buy that one originally for Ellie. But yeah, some of my Poms. These aren't all of them. I took one out the other week. My brain's gone. It's too late, guys. So yeah, they are quite a bit. These are dinky ones. Maybe a little bit more wearable, I don't know. But I would wear any of them. So yeah, this one is probably going to be Ellie's, and I love it's got, I don't know if you can tell, yeah, you can see there, it's got like little black tips on the fibres, and then this one, which is nice and natural looking, which I thought if I get round to making hats for anyone, this might be good on one for my mum for Christmas, or one for, I was considering making the head teacher at my daughter's school a hat for Christmas. I don't know, gotta get round to it all. Can't be that many hats. So 2 Poms, because I can't go to a show and not get a pom if Robin is there. What's next? This is some undyed yarn, actually. A supplier, who is one of my suppliers, was at the show and we got chatting, and I also had a lovely friend recommend me some of their bases, and they sent me away with some samples to try. So I have some suri to have a go at dyeing, which I am super excited to try. It is the most cushy base. And they also sent me away with their DK. So the DK is very different in texture to my current DK, but it's incredibly smushy and soft, and I really want to try it. And then they also sent me away with a couple of sock yarns to try, and this one is a real contender for the shop. It is their high twist sock, and it is so squishy and bouncy. I think you can see the twist on it. Look at that, it's so squishy and bouncy. I think that would be an amazing addition to the shop. And this one is, looks wise, not one I'm not 100% sure on, but you do get a little bit more yardage. You get 430 meters for this one, and it is 85% superwash merino, 15% biodegradable nylon. So it's a little bit more planet friendly in terms of a sock yarn. So yeah, those all came home to live with me because I thought that that would be super fun to just try some of those out. The next thing was my lovely friend Jess, Skein in the Stitch, was going on her little shopping look on a Sunday morning, and I was coming too. And one of the things that she had said she really wanted to get was some self-striping sock yarn from the Yarn Badger, and I fancied a look too. And we got there and Jess was already there. I got there a little bit after her, and I got there behind her, and she was holding a beautiful set of 2 50-gram skeins, and I grabbed the same ones because I'm a copycat and my enthusiasm totally comes out with other people's, and I just thought I want them. So this is double rainbow superwash merino sparkle, 20% nylon, and yeah, there's 2 50-gram skeins, and I love it. So double rainbow. I didn't grab a mini to go with them because I have a couple of minis in my own yarn which I thought might look good. So yeah, double rainbow from the Yarn Badger. There's the logo there. And they will become socks at some point. But for now, I'm just really content looking at those 2 little 50-gram skeins and how gorgeous they are. But yeah, those colours are absolutely stunning. I can't wait to work with it. When I get my sock mojo back, those will be straight on the list. So I'll tuck that in there. The next thing that I have to show you. Oh, and I've just realised I also bought a mug from Emily Cross Ceramics. I happen to have a bit of an obsession with her mugs, but I am trying to slowly replace my store-bought mugs with handmade mugs, and hers are really reasonably priced. So every time I go to a show where she is vending, I grab one of her mugs, and it's very, very, very slowly building up. I only started this year, so I haven't got a huge collection yet, but they are slowly building up. I'm making loads of noise and racket and moving things around with my feet by accident. The next thing that I wanted to show you was these. These are from Katy Green Bean, and I have not actually been to her stall at a yarn show before, so I really was pleasantly surprised with what I found. So these little notebooks, I grabbed 2, and they have these gorgeous illustrations, and they say, "Oh, the potential" on the front. Absolutely lovely. And then the same illustrations on the back. So yeah, they say Yarn Crafter's Notebook, and then they are squared paper, and I am always in favour of squared paper. If it's not dot grid, squared paper is the next best. And then on the inside covers, there's all useful information like an inch ruler, a centimetre ruler, needle and hook size conversions, the crochet conversions, UK to US terminology, and the symbols that are used in patterns, and then a Kitchener stitch reminder, which I thought was super cool. So, oh, and things like yards to centimetres and metres to inches and grams to ounces. All those things are all written in down here. I just thought that's super, super clever. And I really want to get myself more organised. I really, really want to start tracking my projects. And I'm not 100% sure I'll do it in these. These just might be scribbly notes. But that is something I want to think about. I've looked at a lot of project tracker books and things, and they are not what I want. I know what I want, which is basically a happy planner, you know, the disc-bound. I want to frankenplan a book. Yeah, frankenplan, where you like take different sections of different books and punch different things and put them in, and yeah, it's probably never going to happen, but you never know. So yeah, I grabbed a couple of those to try and keep myself a bit more organised. One of the first things I bought was all this. Oh look, there's one of the stitch marker papers from the Corner of Craft. All of this yarn was on cones. I will put a picture in here. Those were cones from WoolyKnit. So my stand at Yarndale was directly opposite WoolyKnit, and they are very well priced and British wool, and so it's not hand-dyed yarn as such like mine is, and it is a lot more rustic feeling, though it's softer than I thought it was going to be when I looked at it. But it is British, 100% British wool, and I loved the look of it. And there was a big bucket, and in this bucket was loads of ends of cones from the mill. I'm guessing from their mill. I don't know, my brain is not working. And it was £15 per kilo, but obviously those cones, the weight did include the big cardboard cones, so a lot of that weight was in cardboard cones, but that's fine. So my friend Nina, who was helping on my friend's stall and helping all of us, she's such a good friend, she dove into there having a look for a little bit more to add to her stash at home, because she had some cones at home and she was like, if I add to this, I'll have enough for a jumper. She was diving in and I might have fallen in after her because I just kept seeing, it was like staring at me the whole of the Saturday, this green and this goldy colour. So these two colours kept staring at me, and there were multiple cones of each colour in there. So I went for it and I got 8 cones, I think it was in total, which I'll have already shown you the picture. And I sat there when I got back from Yarndale. I was really brain frazzled on the first day and I was exhausted, but I had to look after Alfie while Chris went to work. So I got through it by, I stayed awake by winding up this yarn. So it's all in the bag. And yeah, I have wound it all up, and then once it was all wound up, they look like a different colour, but they're not. They're like identical. Once it was all wound up, I weighed it without the cones, and it turns out, I'm not going to get them all out, but it is nice to play stacking. I have 800 grams in the green, and it's the fingering weight yarn. And then I have 250 grams in the gorgeous gold. So I'm thinking a colourwork sweater with the main colour being the green and then the gold as the contrast. I think that would be really lovely. I'm really, really happy with it. I don't know when it'll happen. Goodness only knows. Sometime next year if I'm lucky, because Alfie will be at nursery. We shall see. But I have over 1 kilo of yarn. And obviously it did cost me a bit more with the cones. The cones, they were cardboard cones, and my son played with them the whole of Monday afternoon. And then I dropped them in to my daughter's school because they do a lot of junk modelling, and those sorts of shapes, fun things like that will always be appreciated. So I dropped those in so they don't even go to waste. Yeah, I don't know when I'll work with it, but that's fine. I had such a good time winding it all up, and yes, it cost me £22 for everything in the bag. So over 1 kilo of yarn for 22 quid is pretty good in my opinion. Oh my gosh, I've just suddenly been hit by my wave of tiredness, and it comes like, it's like clockwork. What time is it? No, it's only 10 past 10. 10 past 10, so it's a little early tonight. So other news, other updates. East Anglia Yarn Festival prep is in full swing. Advent dyeing and Advent work is in full swing. I'm so tired, I feel like I fall over. Yeah, oh my gosh, wave of tiredness has hit me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it really has hit me. So yeah, just trying to keep going. I don't drink coffee, but I feel like I need to start a bit more. I had a really great time at Yarndale. It was so fun, hang out with so many friends, saw so many people who I've never met except for online. Yeah, it was just the nicest weekend. It was exhausting, but it was lovely. Long drive both ways, but the way there was meant to only be, I think, 5 hours, and it took over 6, and then the way back only took 4.5, which was nice because I was exhausted. Got home at about 10:30 on the Sunday after obviously working a full day at Yarndale. Oh my gosh, I should edit these out, but I'm not going to because that's extra work and I'm really tired. Yeah, so update wise, this Friday the 30th of September, I am going to have an update on my website, which I am incredibly excited about. It's for Hocus Pocus Yarn. So Hocus Pocus Yarn will go up on the website on Friday at 7 p.m. BST. Doesn't feel like summertime anymore because it is raining outside and freezing cold. Where's the hot weather gone really quickly? Yeah, so that'll be coming up on the website on Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The other thing that I have on the website at the moment is Westnit's MCAL kits, yarn packs. I decided to make up a few from some singles that I have, so some singles options, But then I also decided to mix them up in Stranger Things colourways. So if you fancy a Stranger Things Westnitz MCAL this year, which I think is what I'm going to be doing, then those are available on my website at the moment. Pre-orders are still open and can happily go ahead for any. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Awful. Awful. Oh my gosh, the yawns have hit me. For Firefly yarn and Stranger Things yarn, those pre-orders are still open. I'll leave them up for a bit longer. I mean, taking them down seems silly when I can at the moment dye them as and when I need to, and business wise just need the money, like need the revenue, so I need to keep them up for a while. So I don't know when those will be coming down. At some point, I'm sure, but yeah, not 100% at the moment. So yeah, Firefly yarn is available, Stranger Things yarn is available, and Hocus Pocus yarn will go up on Friday. Stranger Things Westnitz MCALs are up on there now. I think that's everything. Oh my gosh, I'm going again, folks. Let's just call this episode the one with all the yawns. Honestly, that's awful. I'm so sorry. That really is awful. Family wise and other things, we've all just been crazy busy. My big kid has so many classes and clubs after school, it's unreal. My little kid is just a whirlwind along with the puppy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm tired. But I'm so glad that I found some time to just come on here and chat, because honestly it really does do wonders for my sanity. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. I can't believe we've been talking for more than 40 minutes and I haven't fallen asleep yet. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a big one. Sorry. I'm gonna go before this literally just turns into a constant yarn fest, which I think it might have already done. Yawn fest, not yarn fest. Well, it is a yarn fest, but oh my gosh, it's really gone wrong. I'm so sorry. Book club will be coming up soon. It was meant to come out at the beginning of this month, but to be honest, I really didn't like the book. I did finish it. It took me longer than I wanted it to. Oh man. I'll talk to you about it on a book club video. I'll get it out this week, the book club video. But I never thought I would get a book that I didn't really like, and we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later on the book club video. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go. But thank you so much, as always, for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.